It smells a little bit of cleaning fluid.
I love it. I love root beer.
What really is it though?
It's best not to ask. So, we're in the bright yellow Mustang.
We're in a Mustang 4-pot.
Well, here's my problem. So all the people in the diner now are waiting for us to start up
Our muscle car.
our muscle car.
Sorry, Ford. Pony car.
And this is what they're going to hear.
It's really quite bad, isn't it?
It's just...
You're living. Do you know what it is? It's the little box out in magazines, clothing magazines. Get the look. It's get the look. We've got the look.
This is what we're driving here.
It's
the
the look.
H&M pony car.
This is. It
Get
sort
the
of
look,
is.
but you're not quite doing it right.
Oh, I was looking at the spec of this car because Ford and a lot of manufacturers, they give you a laminated sheet of paper in the door pocket, and we know that this is the 2.3 EcoBoost. We know it's 310 horse. This car has a limited slip diff.
Is that an option or standard?
Well, from what I think, it's standard on this car. Being a convertible, it's I think $5,000 more than the normal one. But the other thing that interested me was the fact that it has. I don't know if you've meddled around with the digital display.
I have not meddled as yet.
The central
Chuck
displays.
it in here. See, I should have done some helmsmanry there. Because
Yeah, with
now I know I've got an LSD.
with all your plastic. I was going to say, well,
Plastic cutlery.
we are heading out into what is Britain's equivalent to the Midwest.
I'm gonna... It's not bad once you get it up there, is
But
it?
you've got to get it up there.
yeah.
And muscle cars have torque.
Let's go.
So it's the opposite behaviour of what you're expecting a muscle car to be.
You can whip it along though. I mean,
It's 310 horse.
Yeah.
But you see
Then on a trailing throttle, its 4-cylinder roots really come through again. You can feel it's a bit rough under,
I have to
under
say,
load.
the 2.3 EcoBoost has a lot of induction noise, which is great in a Focus. In this, you don't want to hear it so much because it just feels wrong, and it really does feel a little wrong. I'm quite disappointed. There's a junction coming up, so get ready on those brakes. By the way, British models come with uprated brakes as standard, and also like uprated. Yeah, also uprated.
Interessant, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, uprated anti-roll bars, strut braces as standard. So they come with a raft of stuff which American base model stuff doesn't get.
Well, on my brief attempt at helmsrightmanship back there, I thought it actually feels. You can feel the shell convertible.
No, I think it's really
but
good.
it's actually not bad, is it?
No,
it's chuckable.
It is chuckable
for a car of its size, 'cause it's quite a wide car.
Yeah.
Big wheel.
1600 kilos, 1700 kilos.
Is it?
Big for a two-door.
Yeah.
Thing. But I actually think it drives very European.
But listen to that. So actually under a bit of steady throttle going up a hill.
Just sounds like a carburetted Escort.
Sounds almost diesely. 3,000 revs there.
It's quite
Working up a
loud,
hill.
isn't it? It's actually quite a loud engine. It's quite.
But then you do
But what would happen?
open it up.
It'd be great if you took this to Akrapovic or whatever they were called. Akrapovic?
Acrobatics.
The Acrobatics, the titanium exhaust specialist in Slovenia or wherever they are. And said, build a bespoke exhaust for the 4-cylinder Mustang to make it sound, like a bit rallycrossy, a bit cackly and a bit rally-y.
Yeah.
Because you'd hear it coming and people go, oh, it's a tasty Evo or something. And actually it's not.
Yes, it's not beyond the wit of man to make a 4-cylinder sound tasty.
I don't really like the sound of 4-cylinder cars much.
Do you know?
Flat 4, Subaru.
Flat 4.
I'll do a flat 4.
I'll tell you what sounded lovely with a few revs on it. I appreciate this is not something that most people get to experience. I once drove an RS200.
Did you? Really?
Yeah. Road spec, so it's only 250 horsepower, which these days is,
Which is not a lot, yeah.
hot hatch, isn't it?
Yeah.
If that.
I forgot how low powered the robot was.
Yeah, well, it's how low powered everything was.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. Well, actually, it was quick once you got it up sort of on cam, on boost. Excuse me, monsieur. Is that on boost?
On boost.
And our salmon is served on boost, sir. And when you got it all full chat, my God, that made a nice noise.
Yeah.
It was really just.
That's the YB motor, isn't it? Cosy YB.
BDA, isn't it? It's a BDA derivative, I think.
Is there RS200 BDA?
I think so.
Isn't that a band with Noel Gallagher in it, or Liam?
Yeah, Noel Gallagher's high revving BDAs.
No, it's BDA is
BDI is Liam Gallagher.
Liam is the BDA, but
Yeah.
Noel is all about the YB.
Is he?
And that's one of the
Noel
reasons
Gallagher's wife. That's why they fell out.
Yeah.
No, because it's got more bottom end.
That's right. One of them's. He's
Why have
very
you bought it
upset.
out to 2.1, you fucking dickhead?
They're fighting over performance Ford 4 cylinders. And this
splits
the
so
family.
many bands, though, isn't it?
But what's your opinion on front-wheel drive performance 80s Fords? You know, like XR3i, RS Turbo, Mark III Escort, basically. Do you think? Is it? I mean,
do you know what I'd love to see? And I can't remember the last time I saw one. Is a really tidy original XR3 with your Mickey Mouse ears, alloys.
yeah, your 4-leaf clovers.
4-leaf clovers.
Yeah. Lucky for some.
And what did they? They didn't have tennis racket headrest, did they? But they had very selective use of red trim and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had a nice-looking 3-spoke steering wheel. There's a guy in the village near me who has an RS 1600i.
Oh.
Yeah, with the graphics on the bonnet. Graduated graphics, which reminds me of the Grand Tour type animated logo. I'm sure it's intentional.
Well, when I saw that proposal for the logo for the Grand Tour, my first thought was that looks like the lettering that Ford used to use in the 80s.
It is.
It looked like it should say Sierra. I don't know. Very good graphics house did it, and it was just the logo that everybody sort of liked, although it does look a bit 80s.
It does
I think
look
everyone
80s,
sort of liked that.
It does look like Hot Hatch era, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm quite. Do you remember those decal sets we used to get in the rear windows, which was just red slats, and it would either say MG Turbo, XR3i, or something else
I'm just
like
going for this one.
Sugar Plum Fairy. What are you doing, man?
Loads of room. That truck was slowing down to a crawl.
So below like 3,000, this car is pretty dead, I think.
Yeah, and then it does sort of gets again on boost.
Yeah,
And
it's a heavy car to shift.
It's a heavy car to shift. That's the thing, it needs working up to it a little bit. That's right.
It doesn't feel like 300.
Bloody hell, what just got run over there? Is that a deer?
I didn't even see that.
There's a badger there. There's carnage on this road.
Pardon?
There's carnage on this road. Animal carnage.
I have to say, I think Ford have done a damn good job with this car.
I'm surprised how much I like it. I'm not even super bothered about the engine. It's just that it's knowing there's a V8
available.
Sort of is bothersome.
Yeah, I'll tell you what would be interesting, because obviously the V8's normally aspirated, isn't it?
Yes. Whoa!
Come on, you slag! That's 310 horse. The V8's only 415.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. The V8's only about 100 and a bit more horsepower, which seems ludicrous, really. Luckily, this is all private property. All of the fence is private property.
My private test track.
I know.
Yeah, I've got one.
The great thing is you just press the toggle switch once and traction is completely off.
Really? I was wondering that it's not like
wonderfully
hold it down or go into a sub-menu for full on.
No. And also, I reckon that gear shift is like M Sport levels of goodness. When I say M Sport, I don't mean Malcolm Wilson.
I mean it makes you feel like you're in Cumbria every time you use it.
Cockamouth.
Cockamouth.
Yeah.
Imp Spowart. Spowart. I love how Cockneys can put extra syllables into words that don't have them.
Police.
It was
Spoked.
yeah. It was wowed of Spowart. Like, there's 2 extra syllables in that aren't there.
Totally
Where have you
unnecessary.
found them from?
You know, I was saying the front of this is a bit of a or was a grower for me, and I found that it's like an album you buy on the first play, you're not totally convinced.
Yes.
Fourth play, I'm in. But the Ford front end of this car, the corporate world face, trapezoidal world face, trapezoidal grille. It's so similar to the Mondeo at the moment, and the Flex or whatever it is. You know, is that a bad thing? Because I do still look at the Mondeo and think Aston Martin, which is a bad thing for Aston, good thing if you're a Mondeo driver.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I do.
but
I do
Aston have sort of officially said they don't mind, so it's a win-win.
because they haven't got the money to win in court,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes.
ProDrive,
Yeah.
Ford.
Should we sue them? It means
Dave.
we won't be able to use the Merc sat-nav anymore in the DB11. Right, fine. Send them a stiff letter and then let's say no more about it.
Yes. That was weird, like an axle trampy, smokeless burnout, and yet both wheels were turning. How bizarre. How bizarre.